A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin is a fantasy movie, is for children, everyone. But this is the book that got me out of a small reading slump. I'm really glad for it. I listened to it on audiobook. I was having trouble focusing. I DNF'd like 3-4 books in a row, and I was just like, couldn't get into the groove. And then this book felt like a nice warm hug. It is a classic fantasy about Dooney. He's a little boy who has an affinity for magic when he's living with his aunt, and he finds out he's really good at spells, like the ones that can let you summon animals to yourself, and he decides to, you know, go to school for it. This book is really short, but it also encompasses a lot of time, because we quickly time jump throughout to his teen years, and then quickly to his 20s, and then to his adult. A lot goes on in this book, but it's a very simple, fun fantasy classic because it's like really old school. You know, there's not too much in terms of world building, but you just still have like the towns and the cities and like how the magic works, and they don't get too bogged down by all the details of like the minutia of the magic system, or, you know, it's more just like a character-driven adventure quest story of a coming-of-age story of a young man becoming a wizard and all that entails, and then of course the big sort of event that happens in his youth that ends up affecting him in his adulthood. The only thing I didn't like about this book, that it ends really abruptly. I almost missed it. I was like listening to the book, and then all of a sudden it just ended, and I was like, whoa, wait. So the reason why I don't give it 5 out of 5 is because of that. But Wizard of Earthsea, I can see why it's a classic. It's really, really great. It's well-rounded, lots of action, lots of you know, like wonderment. Really dug this one, so I gave it a 4 out of 5. The Tombs of Atuan is the sequel to Wizard of Earthsea, but it's not like a direct sequel about the main character. We're focusing on the Priestess of Darkness. She's chosen to be the next sort of figurehead for a dark cult of sorts that has like this dungeon underneath the Tombs of Atuan. And it's about her basically just growing up and having her fate tied to her, and her name's changed because her soul is eaten by the Dark One, or whatever that means. It's a really slow novel. I wasn't really into it, and then maybe like halfway during we introduce the character from the first book, so that sort of brought it up in my eyes a little bit. He's trying to like get the treasure from underneath, and she basically has power over him. The book only gets more interesting in the second half when they introduce that character again. He's older, and they have a really good chemistry with each other, but overall, yeah, The Tombs of Atuan is a very different toned book because it spends so much time on this other character, and she doesn't get to do much, and then the book only picks up when you introduce the character from the first book. So The Tombs of Atuan, yeah, it's mercifully short, but I just didn't really dig it. So even though I love the first one, the second one I can only give it a 2 out of 5 because I won't read it again. It didn't have much going on in it. So yeah, 2 out of 5.